Welcome back. This is part 4, making a giant articulating desk lamp, also known as an angle poise lamp. On this episode, we're hopefully going to be making the shade. We cut out 3 bits of steel in the last episode. They need rolling.
Don't you mean rolling?
But
hear them tires turning.
they're very rusty. But this is very thin steel, so it's going to need to be TIG welded, and TIG welding steel requires clean steel. So I want to clean up the rust around the edges where it's going to be TIG welded before we do anything else. That was miserable, but I shouldn't be so complaining. Edges all cleaned up. Let's think about the rolling. So this is 0.8mm sheet, very thin. And I think there's a possibility that we could roll it without the use of an actual slip roll. Now, I've been advised by our friendly neighbor on an idea of how I could join this cone together. Instead of just going right ahead and welding it, what we could do is what I've done on this little test piece here. We fold up one side, we fold down the other side, we make them loop together, we crimp them all the way down, and then it ends up looking something like that, which is going to give us the added bonus of a little bit of rigidity, because right now, very, very wiggly. We're going to need all the rigidity we can get, because Jamie, how useful is a wiggly lampshade as compared to a stiff lampshade?
They're about the same.
El momento de truth. That means the moment of truth. It might explode. We need a bar to hammer it on. That's a very heavy bit of metal. Gosh. Ah! Now it looks like a teardrop. I was hoping for more of like a round look. Now, let me tell you what, if we were trying to manufacture these things for sale, we would need a team. A big team, a lot of employees, and since it's now the age of the deskless workforce, it sure would be handy if there existed a fantastic platform for employee management, time tracking, and seamless and effortless communication between teammates. There is actually, and it's called Connect Team. They're sponsoring this episode. Now, the peak busyness of my business activities, almost none of our employees had computers, so in order to make communication and task management work, we ended up having to use a myriad of different platforms. They all costed money, and all of these things end up costing an absolute fortune and waste time having to switch between them. I really wish that at that time we had Connect Team because it's an all-in-one tool. Your users don't even need an email address, and they don't need to be tech savvy. Their time clock is incredibly simple for your employees to use to clock in and out. You can also track where they're clocked in. As an employer, you can really easily create and share schedules across your team. One of our favorite features are the checklists and forms, which could be a great way of documenting training attendance for your employees. You can chat with your team members and more, but my absolute favorite thing is that it is completely free to use for up to 10 users. That's phenomenal. If you do have more than 10 users, that same link was going to get you a free trial with no user limits at all. So click that link. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the video. This is really difficult. Like, not easy at all.
Yeah, we know what difficult means.
What?
We know what difficult means.
What?
You just gave us the definition of the word difficult.
Did I?
You said, this is difficult. Like, as in, it's not easy.
Some ways to die. Ah! I broke it! Actually broke it.
How's the welding going?
You know. Somebody let a pigeon in here. Jenny, you should really make sure that door stays closed every time I'm welding.
But it is closed.
No, you definitely let a pigeon in. Otherwise, there wouldn't be pigeon poop inside of that. All right, so this cone has been stitched together a little bit, and we want to make it stiffer. It's very wibbly wobbly. And it's not very round. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to see if maybe if I take some 1/4" 6mm round bar, we make a nice ring out of that, we slip that inside, we get 2 advantages. 1, we get a little bit more stiffness. 2, we're able to help this be more round than not round. Just ordered a ring roller on the internets because I've decided that doing this by hand is really messy and ugly. So tomorrow it will be better. For now, I'm gonna set this here.
Say that's janky, but it looks neater than this.
Yes,
I think that looks a perfectly fine circle.
Well, it's okay. I don't think it's perfect though. Need to work out an accurate trim height for this. It's gonna be just like making a chair. Why is there all this crap on my welding table? I hate crap accumulating on my welding table. Goodbye.
Have you tried not putting the crap on it in the first place?
You put this on it, trying to be helpful. What the f is that? Is that a wasp? It's October. It's on your head.
I don't care
The
about
wasp is on your head.
I don't give a shit about wasps. Oh, all right. Wait, then we think I'm some
It's
sort of...
on your hand right now. That's not gonna work, look. Can't even get the height gauge in there. This is how my dad taught me to level out a chair. It is mostly round. What I'm now going to do is work on the next component, which is the big cylinder that goes here. The regular cylinder, context. It's gonna be just the same as this. All right, JB, you rolling? No, I'm ready. Right, so as you can see, the diameters are not lining up super close. So I was going to work on fitting the small cone to this cylinder, but I actually think I'm just going to go ahead and make the big cone, and then we will make it all line up. Aha! Look at the size of it! What do you think that looks like, Jamie?
Looks like a some sort of chimney stack or something like that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about the fit up between central cylinder and bottom cone.
Yeah, you should be. It looks like a mess.
Thank you. Appreciate the support, Jamie. Now, I knew that we had a little bit of a problem, but I didn't realize how big this problem was. The actual fit up here of this cylinder and this is not at all going to be easy. Even though it's not round at the moment, the circumference is nowhere near close. Look at that.
You're going to have to remake this piece because this is bigger and that is also bigger. You have to do it again. It's also too tall.
That's actually potentially the easiest option. Oh, so we remade this component, this central component, because I got the measurements entirely wrong and the fit up was awful and it was way too long. So this piece here, check this out. Get in there. All right, come on, get up. Trust me, it fits really, really nicely. I love how much better I've got at making these joints in these bits of steel. First one I did, you remember? This cone is the first one. It looks like crap, guys. It's absolutely awful. It's all kinked and nasty and disgusting.
But we don't have any more sheet to make another one.
No, we don't. But what's cool is like, the more you do stuff, the better you get. Because this, it's actually really freaking clean. We found the technique. So next up, what I want to do on the big cone is I want to bead roll it and make this little lip right here. That's going to serve the purpose of strengthening it a lot. It's also going to look good. And fortunately, Steve, Usher Engineering, subscribe to their YouTube channel, is going to help us do it. So what is this machine?
This is what I'd call a bead roller, but it's a homemade one.
You built this?
I made it, yeah.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. Do you make all the forming dies as well?
Yeah, I machined all these up. Skateboard wheel often works.
Oh, you're kidding. They're the type of things that you just couldn't know unless you really know your craft or discipline. You wouldn't know that a skateboard wheel would work perfectly fine for this. Instead, you just spend all the money to get the perfect kit. And then after years and years, you're like, hey, a skateboard wheel would work perfectly fine for this.
And that ain't cheap to buy all this equipment. So
how is this going to work?
Basically, in here, you don't put much pressure on it because you mark the material. So you bring this down and that just traps the material between the wheel and the die, the blade. And then all you're doing is basically lifting your workpiece up to bring that edge over.
We're going to start with the test piece in case we find a way of ruining the test piece. It's then not the real piece. Hit it right there. Boom, bring that down.
Ready?
Yep. Oh yeah, that's looking cool already. It's amazing, the gravity just increases. It gets heavier and heavier the more we go. I wonder why that is.
I'm curious to see how this will turn into a bead, because right now it does not look anything like it.
I think you might be familiar with different types of beads, Jamie. These are not Saturday night beads. Oh my gosh, this is so heavy.
You're about halfway.
We're only halfway! And how many like iterations and how high are you trying to get? You're trying to put like a 90-degree bend on it?
Basically a 90 and a bit further if you,
great.
if you can.
Okay. And then rolling it, is that on this machine or is that on a different machine?
No,
or is that just by hand?
The last bit's hammer.
So once it's up 90, it's then easy to fold down and you're not going to like kink it. So I think there's basically no point in doing it on the test piece anymore because we're just wasting everybody's time and effort. So I think we just go for the real thing.
What you mean is that you are running out of energy.
My right bicep is going to rip off from holding this tiny bit of sheet metal. That's what I mean. So as we're trying to like roll up this bead, it's obviously increasing the circumference as it like bends out, and so the material needs to stretch. The result is, when it has decided it doesn't want to stretch, is it's been making some straight lines and some kinks. So I think we're gonna do is another sheet metal working technique called stretching, potentially shrinking, to try and get these kinks out. Let me know if you need me to move it in any way. Hey, look, you have a hat. Hello. So somehow this magical machine is stretching the material on the edge.
That's a shrink we want.
We want to shrink it.
Yeah.
Does it pinch in as you push down?
Yeah.
No way.
It's got little ramps inside them.
Yeah, because the other ones, there's no gap, but then when you push it, the gap comes.
Yeah.
And then this one, there's a gap, and then when you push it, the gap closes.
It pushes it.
Oh, that's
in.
so cool.
So when you push down that,
Look at that.
what it do is that gets rid of any excess metal.
And that upsets it, like thickens it back up.
Yeah.
Every single time we do something to this bit of metal, it feels stiffer and stiffer. Even just like fixing those crinkles.
It has stiffened it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Didn't make it any lighter though. Right, so in short, we're gonna go do a load of hammering on this thing by hand to get this thing folded over. Thank you very much for your help.
That's all right.
I appreciate that a lot. How much do we love sheet metal work?
Not a lot. No.
I don't know if I've done anything useful to this. I don't know if it's any rounder, any better. It looks very messy in a number of places. Very messy. One thing though, it is now incredibly stiff. Look, it can basically support its own weight. It didn't used to be able to do that. We need to put some wire around this lip. Costal's gonna deliver our bender between 218 and 318. It's 230. They're making delivery number 61 and we are 72. I guess we can measure it at least. Well, we could test it because we were planning on putting 6mm diameter wire in this. I don't know if 6mm is gonna be big enough, so little test piece, how about that? Huzzah! That's 6. We get some 8 too. This ain't gonna work. It's way too much material. Blue, I mean red dye. Wait, did DPD just come? They forgot about me. Oh no, he's turning around. Oh, perfect timing. You know, sometimes you buy a tool and you think, goodness gracious, I should have bought one of these things ages ago. I'm certain that if I'd had this my entire career, I would have found myriad of uses for it. Ah. It's a bit greasy in there. Boom. She slides off. Oh, what a lovely bit of engineering. Righty-ho. You want to hold this under here, please? I'm a bit nervous that this technique of like pulling is going to make some slippage happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we just use our brains and flip the thing over?
That's fabulous. It works a treat. Good God. Sweet. Can you please hold that tape measure on the end, Jamie? So now, we squeeze down this top die. Yeah, we're definitely bending it. How do you know if it's gonna bend it correctly though? What do you think about that radius? Is that too tight?
Yeah.
Broken it already. Let's very gently bend it. None of this silly stuff anymore. That look gentle enough?
No, it's way too gentle.
Oh my goodness, you just can't get anything right, can you?
No, you can't.
You know there's somebody that knows the exact technique for doing this. Slight problem, we rolled a circle that was too small. Only takes a tiny, tiny little turn of this handle for it to go completely pear-shaped. What? How is it possible that it looks so bad? Oh no. There's two options here.
Either that isn't circular or this isn't circular.
Yep. It's kind of a game of like spot the imposter, right? Which one of you is actually a circle and which one of you is pretending to be a circle?
Is there a way to leave on a cliffhanger somewhere here?
That's it.